baby on a magic hand dance, baby on a magic hand dance. To the baby on a magic hand dance, baby on a magic hand dance. To the baby on a magic hand dance, baby on a magic hand dance. To the baby on a magic hand dance, baby on a magic hand dance. Feel the energy, feel the force between your hands. Feel the energy right there where you stand. Let's do the baby on a magic hand dance, cause you can dance. Let's do the baby on a magic hand dance, cause you can dance with me. Let's feel the force. Feel it, let's feel the force. Come on. Hey.
Uh-oh. Starting again. Remix. There he is. Oh, yeah. There he goes.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you. I appreciate all of that. Thank you.
Woo! Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. In the best Elvis voice. Welcome. The song's getting better. It's almost done. I'm sure you heard this latest version. It's getting better. It's got the force sound in it. It's got different sound effects. It's got the horn section. The song's come a long way, and thanks to you guys for inspiring us. So we will have an official music video. I haven't decided what day it's coming out.
Yep, that's right.
But it's probably the second week of February, somewhere around that time. Second, third week, but before The Mandalorian Season 3, for sure.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Walker, and next to me is...
Captain Richter, or Trickster, or whoever.
Yes. And you're looking like you got a lot of light on you today, Captain Richter.
Yeah, somebody lit me up.
Welcome, everybody. Hey, Dante's here. Mike's here. Hey, Mike. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, and my birthday's coming up on not this Tuesday, but a week from this Tuesday, on the 31st, and I'm going to Disneyland. Woo! Yeah, excited about that.
He'll be 35.
I'll be 3 or 5 or something like
35.
that. 35? Okay. 35. I have to be an adult? Wait a minute.
You gotta be an adult.
That can't be me.
Yes, you.
Look at the shirt I'm wearing too. I'm wearing, in tribute to the season 3, I'm wearing the baby with all the Mandalorians. Yeah. Yes, come on down, Mike. Let's have some fun.
That's right.
We're gonna have some great time. I'm looking forward to it. We got a lot to go over today, guys. It's yeah, we did a whole bunch of different things, Dante. I might have incorporated your idea. I have to talk to me offline. I'll let you know because I can't refresh my memory what your idea was. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Bad Batch, episode 3, Faster. Mm-hmm. It was great. Yep. Pod racing is back. Oh, yes.
It was great.
It was great to see the pod racing stuff again. It was great to see Ernie Hudson, who played that big evil dude, Ernie Hudson. That was his voice.
Yes, it was his voice.
His voice sounds great, huh?
Yeah, it did, yeah. Did a great voice.
It was, other than James Earl Jones, he's got a great sounding voice, Ernie Hudson.
True.
And we're going to talk about The Last of Us, episode 1,
Yep.
When You're Lost in the Darkness, I think it's called.
Lost in the Darkness.
Yeah, and that has Pedro Pascal, our Mandalorian himself.
Yep.
Speaking of Mandalorian, I became a Mandalorian recently. You might ask why,
Uh-oh.
but that's because it came. It is my selfie. Does that look like me? My wife says it does not look like me.
Oh, that's what you had here?
Well, I mean, they put hair on it,
Oh,
of course.
That's probably why it doesn't look like you.
That's not why. We're talking about the face.
Well, yeah.
I think it looks like me. It has my nose. It's definitely got my lips. I don't know. But this is me as a Mandalorian. Yeah. It almost looks like it's the armor on the back, though. No,
Yeah.
that's a Mandalorian. Interesting.
Almost.
I don't know. What do you think, Captain Richards? Does it look like me? It's supposed to be my face. I don't know. It's definitely my nose and my lips.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Well, Mike says, yes, that's your face, Eric. I mean, of course it's my face. They scanned my face.
Yeah, well, they scanned something.
Yeah. Oh, it's on today's show. I only wanted to show you that because I finally got that. I got it right before my birthday, so I'm happy. I'm a Mandalorian. But you guys should do this. If you go to Hasbro Pulse or get the app will let you do your own selfie. I'm thinking about doing one of the X-Wing pilots because Mace wore that orange flight suit anyway.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing my face because then I'll be wearing my orange flight suit just like Mace wore anyway.
That's true.
I'm wondering then it's almost like I have my own action figure as Mace, right?
Mhm.
Be interesting. For today's unboxing, we're gonna unbox this. It's the fifth brother Inquisitor from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So this is today's unboxing. We'll do that later.
Yep.
Captain Rich, that's what we're doing today. Speaking of that, congratulations goes to Stan Solo, who won a few weeks ago when we had a giveaway. He got Axe Wolves, the Black Series 6-inch Axe Wolves, and he was telling us he got it in the mail.
Oh, good.
So he gave us a shout out.
Good.
So because his went to he lives in Canada. It cost a lot of money to send that to Canada, almost as much as the action figure itself. It was like $20-something just to send it to Canada. It's crazy. Okay. Mike says, make 2 of you in a flight suit. That way I could have one. Sure, why not? Make a bunch of them. Although they'd be pretty expensive.
They would be.
To make them that way. If we could find a way to drop the cost. Although the guy who made the other Mace, the handmade one that we sold years ago, he only made like 18 or 20 of them and they sold out. We were charging $85 then, which is very similar in price, plus my signature, which is almost the same as it is now. So maybe I should order a bunch of them. Maybe I should order 10 of them and sell them.
Yeah.
But who knows? That's an idea.
Who knows?
So
It's a good idea.
so yeah, we're gonna do the Last of Us, right? We also are gonna talk about 2 shows on Netflix that we watched. We said we were gonna review them. So we're gonna talk about Half Bad, The Bastard Son, and The Devil Himself, which is on Netflix, right? We're going to talk about that season that's ended its first season, so we're going to review that whole season. And this came out a while ago, but we never reviewed it. But Warrior Nun just finished their season, so we're going to review that season. And some sci-fi news: Warrior Nun got canceled. Way to go, Netflix!
Yep.
What are they doing? They're canceling everything, but they didn't cancel Wednesday, and it's getting a second season, which is great.
Well, yeah,
So-
they're fools if they would have done that.
Right, it's true.
But
Good point.
I hear in the grapevine that Warrior Nun's going to they're trying to find another place.
They can.
Another go take it.
They should take it somewhere else, just like
Yeah.
they did with when Fox canceled the Orville.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It went to Hulu,
Hulu.
and now it's on Disney.
Yeah. Disney Plus.
So yeah, they canceled too. I mean, shows we like too, which makes no sense. They had no choice to renew Wednesday because it was like the #1 show last year globally. So it's like they better not cancel that one and give it a second season. Oh, also in sci-fi news this week, Avatar only needs $47 million to reach $2 billion at the box office, the
Nope.
break-even point.
They'll get it. They'll get it.
So Avatar is going to break even. Although I still can't figure out why it had to get $2 billion. I think somebody messed up there with the math.
I do too.
I think James Cameron said in an interview he thinks it needs to make $2 billion. Otherwise, he doesn't consider it a success because it costs so much to make. But it doesn't take $2 billion. If it did even $1.5 billion, that's a success. I mean, what was it like 350 to make million? And if you even double that, that's 900 million. So the break-even point's like maybe a little more, maybe $1 billion is with the real break-even point, not $2 billion.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but it's $47 million away. So, and it's still out. Have you guys, has everybody seen Avatar: The Way of Water? Because we reviewed it. It was, what a
awesome.
great, I want to go see it again. So I'm going to help contribute to it reaching at $2 billion. So, Mike said it needs to break even to cover his salary.
Yeah, that's true.
That's funny. Yeah.
I hear the Bureau of Magical Things got canceled too.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope not. I like that show too.
Biggest thing.
Bureau of Magical
Things. The biggest problem is they're saying the first season of that has now just been gone to different countries, and because they had to what they call it, they had to put it in their language so people could see it. I go, why is that? People know English, so let us be in English.
Right. Captain Rickster, look at the camera when you're talking.
Okay.
It's right in front of you. You're looking at the screen up here.
Oh, I was looking at you.
Oh, you were? Okay. I thought you were looking at the screen in front of me.
No.
Okay.
I think it's in the wrong spot. It's further over.
Well, I mean, it's right in front of you. Just let you know.
Right
Give
in
you.
front of me, but right straight.
No, it wouldn't. The angle wouldn't work. It's got to be right dead center of you. You just got to get used. He's not used to being on camera. That's what it is. But we're training him. See, there you go. You look great when you look at camera. Okay, what do you want to start with first? I don't want to do Star Wars Bad Batch first, but what do you want to start with? Last of Us, or talk about the shows that we watched the whole season?
Just do Last of Us because I just watched most of it.
Okay.
I got the pretty much gist of how
let's start with Last of Us. The Last of Us is a sci-fi show that's on HBO Max.
Yep.
It had its first episode last Sunday. On the 15th. It stars Pedro Pascal, who is, of course, our Mandalorian star and been in a lot of stuff recently. And it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like another sci-fi version of Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Would that be?
What it looks like
but with things that almost look like zombies.
Yeah.
So
zombie fungus.
Right. Something like that. Yeah, zombie fungus. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
There's a fungus among us.
Yeah, it's among us. It looks like zombies. All they might do is drain your blood.
Well, they definitely want to eat you because the fungus is among us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, this episode is episode 1. I think tomorrow is the second episode. So we're going to review it weekly, like we do with Bad Batch and Star Trek and other shows.
Yeah.
If you don't have HBO Max or HBO, it's kind of hard for you to watch it. But let's get into it. As you know, at All for Sci-Fi, we have a rating system of 0 to 5 stars. 5 stars is the best. If it's 3 stars or less, it's no go. It's not good. We don't recommend it. The Last of Us episode 1, When You're Lost in the Darkness, gets an official All for Sci-Fi rating of 4.70 stars. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
Well, I think I just first watched it. I didn't see the whole thing. I got to see 3/4 of it.
Right.
Which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a 4.65 until I see more of the rest of the.
Okay. But you're only missing like 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
something like that.
Mike gives it a bunch of different stars.
Yes, a lot of stars.
Have you seen it, Mike? I'm just curious.
Yeah, he has.
Right.
The Last of Us is amazing.
Yeah. So far, I'm really liking it. It's kind of intense. We're going to talk about that. So there's going to be some spoilers coming along here, and that's what it's about. We're talking about the show. The acting's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline is really well written as well. I like the writing in it so far. It's keeping us on our toes. Like I said, the beginning, when it was all going down, and then now it flashed forward to 20 years. But the very beginning of it was, it just was really good. That's why I gave it 4.70. What else was good about? What was your favorite part of this episode that you saw so far? You didn't watch all of it, but
Well, what I didn't like is his daughter being killed. That was
well,
I didn't like
I didn't
that
ask you
part.
what you didn't like.
But,
What's your favorite part?
My favorite part so far is, I would probably say the running scene.
The running scene? Okay.
Yeah.
Mike says it's just like the game. It's going to be better to come. Yeah, it is kind of like that. Okay, so my favorite part was when the girl, like, they kept testing her every day, like, what's your name? What's this? And then she said F you to her.
Yeah,
She was
that
mouthing off to her.
That was definitely
That
funny.
was funny. So, yeah. Well, yes, Dante, you're not supposed to look right at the camera. You're supposed to look past it. You're right. Because if you look straight, dead center, you sometimes you could look cross-eyed. That's a good point.
Well, I got glasses on, so I'm not gonna be cross-eyed.
Hey, you're not gonna look directly at it. You're gonna look past it, like you
Yeah, I
said.
look
But
past
you're
it all the
right.
time.
Good tip for those in filmmaking. And Mike, they do this when you're acting. You're never supposed to look directly at camera.
That's true. You're supposed to look off to the side.
Well, but even when you do, like, if you're a news anchor or you do other stuff or reporter, you look at the camera, but you look past it, like this.
you look at the
You're
cue
not
cards.
looking like that.
You look at
And
the
looking
cue cards.
past it,
That's what
like
you look
that.
at.
Okay, so yeah, great start for this show. Can't wait till tomorrow's episode. Love these kind of stories. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of curious.
Yeah. So, and that's what you want. So, and of course, Pedro is doing a great job.
So far.
Really good actor, who we all knew he was. So,
Oh, yeah,
and it was very sad when his daughter died
Yes,
right
it
at the
was.
beginning. That was really, right heartbreak right for episode 1.
That's
So,
definitely true.
all right, so that's Last of Us. Well, should we go to Warrior Nun or Half Bad?
Talking about a short little stunt inside a little cameo in it.
Well, I
Different
mean, she
part.
was in it for the first 30, 45 minutes. This episode was a long episode, too.
It's a long episode.
It
yes,
wasn't a
but-
short episode.
No, but she, it's only an appearance she's going to make in the whole thing. Now she decides to come back to life somehow.
Because of the
That
fungus.
ain't going to happen.
Maybe she gets the fungus.
Yeah, you never know.
And she comes possibly. That would be creepy.
That would definitely be
If
creepy.
she shows up 20 years later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really. By now, she's probably skinned.
Yeah, it's on to something else, but that was kind of a sad beginning for
It
sure.
was.
Warrior Nun or Half
Let's do half. Let's see,
Half Bad?
half bad. Yeah.
Oh, she dies in the game at the beginning, too.
Uh-huh.
Well, that actress tends to die all the time, I guess.
I guess so. I guess she's not going to make much of an actress out of this one.
Right. What'd you say to do?
Half blood. Or half bad.
Half Bad. Half Bad, the bastard son, and the devil himself.
Yeah, he had to write all that down so he could remember it.
It is a tough title, right?
For him, it's tough. I had to say it to him a couple of times because I loved watching that TV
That show, it's on Netflix, so watch it, guys.
Unfortunately, it's on Netflix. Yes.
Well, it's probably going to get canceled, but
And like everything else gets canceled.
but it's a good show. The official All for Sci-Fi rating, as you know, 0 to 5 stars, 3 stars. Don't do it. The whole first season gets an official All for Sci-Fi rating of 4.60 stars. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
I'm gonna give it a 4.75 because
Ooh.
I really like this show.
Okay.
This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great idea. It's interesting it's basically about the modern day vampires and they have the what do they call them? The Bloods, or I'm trying to remember it now. It's been a few weeks since I saw it.
Yeah.
There's two different kinds, and one of them's bad.
Mhm.
And the other one are called, I'm trying to remember what they're called. But he finds out that he's from the bad side, the more bloody ones.
Right.
And his mother was one of the natural ones. And the whole season, basically starts off with him. Well, the very, very beginning episode sees him being born, and they go to these other vampire people go to the house, and they find the mother dead and gruesomely murdered. and they blame him for doing it.
Yeah, but that
Wasn't the case.
wasn't the case.
And he has a sister, so he has an older sister who is his half sister, who's also like a vampire, and she's always teasing him, saying, "You're the cause of the mother's death." They end up going with the mother's sister, who's a witch
Right, yeah.
too. So it's basically witches and stuff like that, and magic. It's pretty cool. It's a really good show.
Mhm.
I'm kind of hoping they do it again. They come back and do it in season 2. I want to see where it goes, because you start to really like these characters by the end of the show, and the whole first season is kind of them chasing to try to get them, and them
Well,
they
trying to get him more than anybody. Yeah.
right. And he ends up going to Paris and then the different parts
Yeah.
of Europe. I don't know. Did they end up in Germany, or is that where they ended up?
I think up in Germany somewhere.
Right. But it's a good show. It's quality. It's well made. It's not something kids should watch. So I would say
No, not
at least
really.
teenagers up. I don't recommend it for young kids, but young kids these days, the stuff they watch, it's unbelievable what they watch.
It would be nothing new to them to say, "Oh, okay."
But no, I don't. I personally would say, 15, 14, 15 up.
Yeah.
You know,
at
don't
least that old.
no. Yeah, it's definitely not.
It's not
It's
really
got
good.
some really adult themes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not really rated R, but it's in between.
it's got gore. It's got semi nudity at times. It's
Yeah,
got very
once in a while.
adult language.
Yeah, kids should be hearing adult language.
Yeah,
But,
and adult situations.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, overall, we said we are going to talk about it, and I'm really. What was your favorite scene in?
Please, it's been 2 weeks since I've seen this thing. I couldn't remember.
You can't remember something from 2 weeks ago?
I can't remember what I did yesterday. We didn't try to remember something 2 weeks ago.
Oh my
Come on,
God.
man.
Well, I already started.
started.
You don't know what your favorite part is? I'm asking you your favorite part. I'm not asking you to do a review of it. You're funny. He can't remember what his favorite part is. Okay.
Well, there's too many. There's too many favorite parts in that whole show. I liked.
It had a few good parts,
I liked all the good parts in it, but
right?
to pick one specifically, no.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, I mean, I liked the relationship he had at the end with his father, and right at the end, he found out what his father was there for, and his father ended up helping him through the last little challenge thing. I like the last episode was my favorite, actually. Did anyone see
Velma?
Velma? Someone said watch it. It's total. I have not seen Velma.
I haven't seen it either.
Have not seen it.
I've seen the adult version of her though.
You're funny.
Shouldn't say that.
Yeah. So anybody else that's seen it? Do you have a favorite part of Half Bad, the Bastard Son, and the Devil himself?
Never did. Yes, I did see the devil in that. He did come out.
Okay.
The devil was his father, actually.
Yes, the devil was his father.
So
Yes.
I did like that part. At least they finally showed who he was, and they're trying to kill him, but it's not going to happen.
No. They're too
can't-
powerful.
This was way too powerful.
Yeah, no. I mean, his dad was way too powerful, and the son too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen.
He says, "I'm going to die, but it's not my time yet."
Right.
So that was another good clue. But he knows he's going to die.
Right. Do we know if it got a second season yet?
No, not yet. I haven't heard anything yet.
Oh no! I just read that they canceled it.
What?
It says here, Half Bad, the Bastard Son, and the Devil himself canceled at Netflix. Netflix will not be renewing this show either. What is it with you, Netflix?
Netflix better go better. No wonder you guys are losing money
On December 9th. I can't believe it.
Yes, they no wonder losing subscribers and stuff like that because they're canceling all the good shows.
It definitely. I mean, I liked it. I mean, I gave it. He gave it a higher rating to me, but I'm giving it a high 4. I mean, it wasn't. Mike says Netflix strikes again.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, Netflix. I mean, you're gonna lose your subscriber base, man. I mean,
That's what
you've
they're
got
doing. They're
some.
losing it.
If I didn't have have this, well, no, I like to watch sci-fi, and you do enough shows, but come on, guys, and then they keep raising their pricing, and they're canceling shows we want.
That's really
That's the
bad.
craziness. All right, so let's talk about the Warrior Nun, which
Even that
was
got
canceled,
canceled.
which we already said got canceled. It's not going to get a third season, but the Warrior Nun,
That's on Netflix.
that was Netflix as well. Thank you, Netflix.
Yeah, really.
So the Warrior Nun, get the official all-for sci-fi rating of the Warrior Nun. I liked it better than the Half Bad and the Bastard Son. Warrior Nun season 2 gets an official all-for sci-fi rating of 4.70 stars. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
I liked it so much. I'm gonna give it a 4.85.
You liked it that much, huh?
Yes.
Mm.
It's definitely, especially when
Well, what was your favorite? Let's
when-
start off. What's your favorite part?
when God was captured by the evil guy there, and then he was trying to take over her realm, which is the devil actually,
Right.
and the girl comes in, and
The Warrior Nun.
yeah, the warrior nun comes in and battles with him, and he loses the battle by them cutting or blowing up his cross or whatever it is, and he loses a lot of his power, and so she brings these
The demons,
The
the big,
demons.
huge demon monsters.
big, huge demon monsters.
Yeah.
They kill him. He blows apart, and she stops them from attacking her.
Right.
And so that was
That was a good part.
That
I
was
like this. I
definitely a
like
good
this.
part.
I like the effects. I like the big
Yeah.
demon creatures. Before that happened, she actually killed him, but
Yeah.
she killed him in the Earth realm, so he came back to life.
mhm,
And the only reason why she was able to kill him was by bringing those creatures from the other realm
Yeah.
into the current Earth realm. So when they killed him, he was gone.
he was gone for sure.
Yep.
Never to return.
Who do you think? Who do you think that is? You think that? Who do you think that archangel or whatever that angel thing was? She an archangel?
You mean the female?
Was she was she
No,
Satan or
was
she a
God.
devil? I don't think she was God. I think she was.
Yeah. She was God.
You think so?
That's
Okay,
what she said.
she did.
Yeah. Very last.
I thought they left it. They didn't leave that. I didn't get that. Maybe I missed it. I got to go back and watch it. Anybody that watched The Warrior Nun this last season, do you think that was God as a female, or was that some sort of other fallen angel or something
It's
like
definitely
that?
not a fallen angel. That is for sure. Because it's a fallen angel would not be dressed in white.
Well, they were kind of insinuating. That different realm may have been somewhere else, like a different universe or
Well,
something.
Heaven's not going to be in this.
Well,
Actually, they're going to be in a different
Right.
realm. They're not going to be with us. So they're with us anyway. But I'm just saying, if you really want to see heaven, it's in
Right.
a different realm. It's not in this realm because we have a veil over our eyes, so we can't see heaven or hell.
yeah, there's a veil that very few people could see. That's true, and a lot of people think it's a different dimension. And I believe in multi dimensions. I believe in all that stuff, different universes and stuff. So, hey, in my world, my God is very creative. So he makes all these different things up. So
She is, Mike.
isn't she God's champion on Earth?
Yep, she is.
Oh, I think you're right. I think, well, the Warrior Nun is. I think.
Warrior Nun is not a
Yeah, the Warrior Nun
she-
definitely
she-
is God's champion. on Earth.
she was a disciple of God. They chose her to carry on the torch that the fallen angel had given her to change it from bad to good. If you read the comic book, you'll notice that.
Yeah, there is a
battle-
comic book, right?
She does battle a lot of people,
Mm.
but she's actually the warrior for God here on this earth.
Right.
You're right. She is God's champion.
Well, here's my hope. My hope is that, the people that are behind the Warrior Nun, if you're watching this, there's a lot of people that love your show. Okay, so take it. If Netflix is canceling it like this and they don't decide to have you come back, go somewhere else if your contract will allow it. And that's just the thing. Will their contract allow it? Because
That's true. Yeah.
You know, I think that sometimes there's ways to do that and get out of it. Depends on the power that, because sometimes Netflix could wield so much power that if they cancel something, you can't still go and try to get it somewhere for a certain number of years.
That's right.
And sometimes that could be really a big death blow. Because you know, sometimes these creative people, they want to do the show now. They don't want to have to wait 4 or 5 years to pick it up and do it somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it depends on a contract,
It depends on the contract, yeah.
which none of us would have any way of knowing
No.
what's in it. So, but if you guys bring it back, please, because we all loved it.
No kidding. It's based off the original.
I know you
set.
said it's based off a comic book.
Yeah,
I didn't know
based-
that.
Based off the original set. But
How many comic books are in it?
Well, there's actually five comic books in the very first set that came out, and there's 15 in the second, and I think there's another 6 or 7 in the third. So they came out with three different categories with Warrior Nun.
Right. And maybe in this case, I know Mike brought up if a show gets canceled, it should be able to get picked up and go somewhere else.
That is
That's not always the case, Mike. It depends on who's producing it.
true. That's true.
If the show is on Netflix, there's a good chance because Netflix doesn't usually have Netflix doesn't use they're not like Universal, they're not like Paramount. They don't have their own offices and their own studio where they're paying other creatives to make their shows.
Mhm.
So in this case, you might be right, but if a show's like produced by NBC, and if NBC cancel it, it's not going to go anywhere.
No.
You know,
it's
but
on
if it's
forever.
a show that has another producer, like with the Orville thing, I think the guy who did, who's very smart anyway. Again, it depends on what's in a contract, but the guy that does Family Guy, what's that guy's name? He's Seth MacFarlane.
MacFarlane, yeah.
Yeah, he's smart enough that he produces it as well.
Mhm.
So if the people who are the creators behind it are also producing it, then you're right, it could go somewhere else. But if it's really a network show and it's, you know,
Not Seth
produced by
Green.
the network.
Seth Green is.
Seth Green is
an actor.
an actor, but Seth MacFarlane, we're
MacFarlane
talking
is-
about the Orville.
Horrible.
Yeah.
He is actually.
But in your
writer and
case,
producer.
you think it could, but sometimes it can't be. But I think in the Warriors Nun case, there's a good
It
chance
could
it
be,
could
yes.
be because Netflix isn't like an established studio like Universal or something like that,
Right.
where they're doing all the producing of the show. They hire other people to do it. So
Well,
maybe.
Wednesday was actually looking for another. Cause they had canceled originally, and then they started looking for another.
I had never heard of
Well,
that it
oh,
got
yes.
canceled. Nobody ever said
Oh,
that.
yes. Go back.
Nope.
Go back and look.
Well, Rick, you tend to read stuff on those websites that are clickbait websites off of
Clickbait.
Facebook.
I watch not Facebook. Anyways, on Google, and it's not. It's off. It's comic. It's called Comic Reader, I think it's called, and they've been right on for the last few years.
Okay.
What they're talking about. But
You
anyway,
tend to say a lot of stuff that's not true. I've never heard anywhere that
yeah, well,
it was ever being it was such a popular show, they wouldn't have ever made an announcement until and then when they made the announcement, they said Netflix did a teaser the first time they said anything about it and said the global #1 show is coming back for season 2. And yeah, we're fighting, guys. It's the bromance, right?
yeah.
Okay, guys, we got one more, the Bad Batch. But before we do that, let's do our unboxing.
Yep.
Today's unboxing is the fifth brother,
Mhm.
Inquisitor. And the fifth brother, Inquisitor, is from Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's what the box looks like on the back. And it reads on the back while you're looking at the front. Fifth brother, Inquisitor, Obi-Wan Kenobi is set years after the dramatic events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faced the corruption of his friend and Jedi apprentice Anakin Skywalker, turned Sith Lord Darth Vader. That's an interesting wording for the back.
Mhm. Yeah.
Go ahead and open it. See what it looks like. Trying to get the glare out.
Well, check out
Nice.
Check out the other.
I will,
and then
but I always like to
glare
show it in the plastic too.
off. Now you got the glare off of it.
Who doesn't love force sensitive. Fifth brother, right? Sorry about
Gotta
that.
have one of them.
I like this interesting hat. You know, in the rice hats in Vietnam.
Mhm.
It's like a different version of that.
And Japan and Korea.
Do you think it's racist to have an Asian guy have a hat like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
would
know.
say, yeah, they're a little bit different there, but
Well, let's check the side profile. Look, I like the red there. The red up here. The red highlights are nice. We all know what that symbol is, of course. Let's check the articulation. It's pretty smooth. The joints, the hand movements, really nice and easy. It looks clean. He's got a nice little little flaps here, little belt here. The belt's on there pretty tight. He doesn't really have a pocket for like a blast or anything, but he's got his lightsaber. So
his lightsaber hooks onto his hip. By the way,
I like his boots. Look at that boots. They're nice looking boots. Okay, let me. Here's his lightsaber.
Google lightsaber.
Yeah, I know it's a great one. Did we ever see him use it? Do you remember?
He used it a couple of times, yeah.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
We have the Star Wars Encyclopedia. Mike, do you remember? Did he ever use this in Kenobi? Did we see him use it?
Yeah.
Rick says he used it a couple times.
And he did it in the town. I think it was the town.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
Or they're on the ship they were fighting.
Does the hat come off? Let me check.
I don't think so.
No, the hat does not come off here.
It's solid.
It's yeah, it's really part of it. No, it won't come off. That would have been cool if the hat did come off, huh?
And Mike says he doesn't remember either.
If he did use it, these things are cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that the sister used it.
Yeah, the third
She
sister.
had one, and she was going like that with it. The third sister had one. But that's why I said, you said he used it a couple times. I don't remember him using it. I remember the third sister using
Well, I know
it.
the third sister used it a lot.
Well, I didn't ask that. I asked if
I
he
know
used it.
what you said. And
Here
I
we
said,
go.
I think a couple.
Look how awesome it is when he holds it. Yeah, the sister definitely used it for sure. Okay, as you know, at All for Sci-Fi, we have an official rating system of 0 to 5 stars. 5 stars is the best, just like in movies. If it's 3 stars or less, we don't recommend you purchase this toy. The Fifth Brother Inquisitor Black Series from Obi-Wan Kenobi gets an official All for Sci-Fi rating of 4.5 stars. Ding, 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 ding. And let Captain Rickster take a look at it and let you go ahead, Captain Rickster. What do you think? Go ahead and take it over. What do you like about it?
Well, it's got some great movement. That's what I like about it. It's not as stiff or like a lot of the other ones are.
Yeah. And
So
and
this one is
yeah,
definitely a little more loose.
when they're stiff, you could just put them in water.
Yeah.
That helps loosen it up a little
If
bit.
not, shoot some WD-40 on it.
WD-40 for the old.
When you get old like that, you gotta use some WD-40. But yeah, this is actually, I like the lightsaber, which is really cool. Dual lightsaber, and
It
the
is cool.
character I like too.
I like the character, even
So,
though
yeah. Helmet doesn't
it
come
looks
off.
a little racist with that hat.
Yeah, well.
But I'm
What
joking.
can we say?
What is it? 4.5 stars? What do you give it, Captain
Oh,
Rickster?
4.5 stars. You know, since it got some great movement here, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna probably get a 4.80.
4.8. Oh, whoa.
Oh yeah, it's really.
What
good.
did you say, Dante? Looks like he could move his elbow
Yeah,
joint.
his
maybe.
elbow joints do move. Yes, I was moving his elbow.
Yes, they do move.
Yes. Articulation.
No,
in this thing is really
it's got
great.
good articulation, that's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, well
Mhm.
that's it for this one. We can get into the review of the
Yep.
Bad Batch, but bye-bye. See you later. And we love doing this, doing the unboxing, not because
He's so
I don't
far
have
behind.
time.
Yeah, he doesn't have time. That's the reason why. That's why he wants to do them on the show. If we had time, those things would all be all done, and we wouldn't have to worry about doing this.
He might have a point, but
It's a big point because he said he was going to do it over the Christmas weekend, and he never did.
Shh, 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 shh. Can't admit he has a point, though. All right, guys, let's move on. He's going to save this video.
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Last of the day, our
Bad Batch.
favorite, Bad Batch, baby. And they are a bad batch, aren't
Oh,
they?
yes, they are.
This is episode 3, Faster. You know what's interesting is because they have the pod racing. I could hear the Daft Punk song with Kanye West.
Yes.
Faster, stronger, over. Doon, 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 doon. Can you imagine that going? Faster, stronger. The Daft Punk remake that Kanye West did. You hear that playing right now? Faster, stronger. Doon, doon. Yes, it's great. Great episode. Loved it. As you know, our rating system is 0 to 5 stars. 5 stars is the best. 3 stars, it's crapola, right?
Yep.
This episode, 3 of the Bad Batch. Almost said the bad.
Yes, I know what you said. Don't say it.
Almost,
Don't
but I
say
didn't.
it.
So it doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No, it
Blow
doesn't.
up.
Not if I didn't say it.
Love up.
Didn't say it. Doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
It would be prudent.
Not gonna do it. Hurricane Hugo, not my fault. Who's that? George
Go-
Bush.
go for it.
Hurricane Hugo,
Go.
not my fault. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Hurricane Hugo, not my fault. Okay. Yeah. 4.50. 4.5 stars. Wanted to give it more, but I gotta save them, guys. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
I'll give it a 4.6.
4.60.
Yep.
No violence on today's show.
I'm trying to keep my teeth in my mouth. I don't want them to fall out. Like that.
Oh man, I love this episode. I like the fact that we're starting to get to know Sid more. Sid is played by. That's awesome. You could do stop motion with it. That's true.
That's
Doc's
true, yeah.
talking about this. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that we're getting to know. Sid is played by Rhea Perlman.
Right.
Danny DeVito's wife, and Rhea Perlman from Taxi, great actress. And we had Ernie Hudson in it, who
Mhm.
played her friend. I forgot the character's name, but Mike would know it.
Mhm.
But her old comrade.
Yep.
And he warns them, about Sid. But I think Sid is changing. I think Omega is having a big impact on Sid because you could see the look she gave.
Yeah.
The Doatin. Okay. And also I like that droid. Remember the droid who was doing the racing? That droid was funny.
Yes,
I
he
can,
was.
he reminded me a lot of I think it was Alan Tudyk's character, K2SO from Solo.
Mhm.
The Solo movie. Yeah, love that droid character.
I loved it when he got hit the second time.
Yeah. They couldn't fix him
They
now
couldn't fix it
in
that
time.
but
So
they-
then right, Tech had to
Tech
take care
had
of
to
it.
get in and win the race, which he did.
He
But-
did. He did. Tech actually, he went down the air corridor he's not supposed to go through
Mhm.
and made it through, and he ended up winning right at the end because he didn't get, he was able to have a reaction, and they couldn't do the same thing that they did to the robot.
Right.
Who wouldn't, he was able to react, and didn't happen to Tech, and he won. And then you heard him,
Yeah.
Tech
Really.
the audience. So it was great. I mean, and we hadn't seen pod racing. Did any of, I'm just curious,
It was the first
Mike,
season.
maybe you know the answer to this, but when's the last time we saw pod racing like this? Did they do any pod racing in the Clone Wars or Rebels or any of the other cartoons, or was the last time they did pod racing in the Phantom Menace?
That was-
I'm
I can
curious.
remember.
Well, I mean, they did a lot of
Oh, I know,
cartoon
they
and
do a lot of
TV
cartoons,
shows, so
but
they
yeah.
might have somewhere did something. There's so many episodes. That's why I'm asking. Maybe you might know, Mike. Or was this the first time we had pod racing since the Phantom Menace? So,
Let us know in the comments down
let us
below.
know in the comments, Mike. We know you know a lot about
Oh, yeah.
that stuff, more than even we do, for sure.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, my favorite part of this episode, I'm gonna say when Omega stepped up. He thinks it's the Phantom Menace too,
Yeah.
just like you. Um, when Omega stepped up and tried to help save Sid and doubled the bet or they get Sid. That was my favorite part. That's
Mhm.
kind of corny, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
What was your favorite
I
part?
told you my favorite part was
I think
the
you did. What was it again?
one that when the robot got hit the second time and Tech had to go and do the race.
Oh, when he got hit again, right?
Yeah, second time.
Yes.
He got
Right
hit
before.
He hit the first time, and then they fixed him. But
Right.
The second time, they couldn't do anything.
Right. Well, the first time was during the race, and when they messed it up and they lost,
Yes.
and then they had to put
put it back together.
everything, not just him, but the
Ship,
racer,
everything
the
else,
racer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So.
the second time, it's like, can do another thing. And he said something, and I didn't hear what he said, but it wasn't really good. He just
It just the music again. Kevin Kiner, this
Yes.
dude really needs to score a Star Wars movie. He really is great. He's the closest we're ever going to get probably to John Williams. He's that good. I'm not going to compare him with John Williams because John Williams is
the best.
but he's definitely up there for sure. That I would love to see him score a movie.
Mhm.
Maybe he just wants to do TV shows. Who knows?
Who knows?
I do know that they did release, and let me see if I could find it. They actually released all the episodes. So we know every episode for the entire season
On who?
of The Bad Batch.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going to talk about it, what's coming up in the future here real quick. Let me see if I could find it. 1 second. Anything else, Captain Rickster?
No, not really. It was a great show, though. I mean, I really it kept me in my seat there for a little bit because I enjoyed it. Especially the pod racing part. I definitely loved the pod racing part. So that was actually really good. But otherwise, watch it. It's great.
Okay, yeah, I found it. What I was going to share with you guys. We know the last episode was faster.
Mhm.
The next episode next week is called Entombed, like you're entombed in something. And then after that, episode 6 is called Tribe. Episode 7 is called The Clone Conspiracy. Episode 8 is called Truth and Consequences. Episode 9 is called The Crossing. Episode 10 is called Retrieval. Episode 11 is called Metamorphosis. Episode 12 is called The Outpost. Episode 13 is called Pabu. Maybe that's the name of a place. Episode 14 is called Tipping Point. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does.
Episode 15 is called The Summit. And then episode 16, the finale of The Bad Batch, is called Plan 99.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
They're called Clone Force 99.
Right.
So
No,
Plan 99.
This is going to be interesting. That one's really going to be interesting for the finale on that show.
Yeah, and that Plan 99 is on March 29th. So the Bad Batch is going to go from now until March 29th before the season is over.
Okay.
Hey, Stan Solo made it. Hey, Stan.
Hey, Stan, how you doing?
We were just talking about you, Stan, about how you gave us a shout out and that you got your
Surprise.
You got your Axe Wolves Black Series in Canada. So we're happy you got that. And so glad you made it as well. So Mike says maybe the tipping, let's see what Mike is saying. Maybe the tipping point is when Crosshair just can't take it anymore and turns against the Empire. Yes.
That would be good, yes.
Yes, Mike. I've said it last season. I thought that Crosshair was going to come back. And now you're starting to see him in the last couple episodes. Crosshair, he's like dreaming and he can't sleep well. I know Crosshair is going to be back with his buddies. He's coming back. And I think Omega is going to help him come back to the group.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. It's been a great week.
Yes, it has.
We're going to continue watching everything. We got the Bad Batch episode 4
Coming up
next week, which episode 4 is called, no, episode 5, sorry.
Five.
This last one was episode 4. I labeled it wrong here. I put episode 3. Episode, because we had 2 the first week.
Right.
I got to change that in our teaser. But episode 5 is next week, and it's called Entombed.
Right.
So we'll see Entombed next, and we'll talk about it next week.
Mhm.
We're also going to watch the second episode tomorrow. Make sure tomorrow you watch the second episode of The Last of Us, because we reviewed that earlier. The first episode, we'll review that. Coming up in a few weeks, we have February 16th, we have the premiere of Picard, final season. And we also got a movie coming out, right? Finally.
Yes, we have a movie coming out. It's Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumanium.
Yep. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yep.
It's coming out.
And then in May, we have Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out.
Yes.
That should be the last one.
Excited to do that, and excited to also hang out with Mike. On my birthday, I'm going to Disneyland, which is not this Tuesday, but a week from this Tuesday, I'll be at Disneyland. Anybody that's around, you're welcome to join myself, Captain Rickster, and Mike on the 31st. And excited for that. And guys, as we always say at All for Sci-Fi, this next week, do one act of kindness. It could be even picking up the phone and calling a friend that you haven't talked to in 20 years, or doing something nice for somebody. Let's do something nice, because it makes the world a better place, and it helps. It teaches others how to be nice to people and pay it forward.
Mm-hmm.
My dad always told me, if I don't have something nice to say, don't say it, right? And be a nice guy. It's one of the things that took me a while to learn, but but I'm trying. I try every day. I try to become a better person, and remember, the force is with you always.
Yep.
Live long and prosper to our Trekkies out there, and may God bless you.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend, or the rest of your weekend. Have fun. Don't go out there and do anything crazy. Stay away from COVID. Wear a mask if you feel like you know you're gonna need it. But have a great time out there.
Oh yeah.
See you guys next time.
We'll see you guys. Take care of each other.
Yeah, nice, Dan.
Where's the baby?
Sleeping. Didn't feel like my arms.
Shit.